Hey guys, welcome back to CLOCKWISE Crypto. Hope you guys are moving forward in everything that you do. Huge news in the markets. Let's dive right into it here. Taking a look here. Friday's U.S. inflation report may catalyze Bitcoin to an April rally. So here they're saying in this article, there's a ton of talk about this, guys, across the board. Bitcoin could rally to 110,000 as investors await key PCE inflation data out of the United States, with analysts saying easing macro risks may trigger a strong April performance. This is what everyone's been waiting for, right? So traditional and cryptocurrency investors are waiting Friday's report to come out, and essentially they're expecting great numbers, which is going to in turn trigger Bitcoin to head back to over 100K, which in turn you should see altcoins rally behind that. And there's no guarantee yet, though, right? It's all speculation, but you're going to see a ton of influencers, a ton of reports and analysts, both in crypto and outside of crypto, anticipate this, right? And what we've seen a lot with anticipation is it lets us down, right? Because everyone's expecting it. It's almost equivalent to what was happening with Trump coming in office. We thought immediately, as soon as Trump stepped in, immediate bull run, massive opportunity, people making millions, and it didn't happen that way, right? So we see here that other analysts have pointed at global trade war concerns as the biggest hurdle for investors' appetite, which is another reason why we've seen a change in market sentiment, right? We went from very high, very bullish sentiment to very wishy-washy sentiment, like unsure, and the crypto fear greed indicator pulled all the way back down to extreme fear. And as a result of what's happening globally as it comes to potential tariffs, potential wars between countries, like a ton going on from a global economic perspective. But with all that being said, bullish news is bullish news. So next article here, security concerns are growing, or they're still there when it comes to utilizing crypto adoptions, right? So they're saying that security concerns slow crypto payment adoption worldwide. They did a survey of about over 4,000 people, right? 4,500 users conducted by BitGet Wallet as a part of its latest on-chain report. And this is the result, right? They're saying people that are still for crypto despite a lot of people saying that they're worried about the security, right? Still 46% of users said they preferred crypto payments over fiat for the speed and efficiency, right? That's that's huge news on average, right? And with this report and us seeing this, I don't think it's security. I really think it's more so not being familiar with doing something different, right? I don't think it's security, only because you look at, for a fact that banks are trading your money. For a fact that the banks can freeze your money and hold your money without cause if they think you're doing something, or if you may be doing something, or if you did something wrong, right? Or even if you got compromised, right? Like, banks can compromise at this point monthly. You hear about banks or big corporations not even mishandling the data, but getting hacked and getting breached, right? So I don't think it's a security concern. I think that it's something different that you're not used to, and the education and the being able to onboard people easily really isn't there yet in the crypto space, right? And so we look at the people surveyed, and the number of people, this is the percentages, number of people that would prefer crypto payments, right? And with these numbers, we see that it seems like a lot of countries that are not for it are mainly countries outside of the United States, outside of countries that are being talked about for adopting this technology. The barrier for this adoption, though, clearly is not making it as easy to use or user-friendly. And I think that's coming, guys. I think that's coming. And because it's almost a no-brainer, right? If I need to send money across the world, in 5 minutes. I'm not going to go to a bank, right? If anything, like traditionally, like right now, in today's day and age, you would go to PayPal, you would go to Venmo, you go to other options, right? You're not going to the bank. So if you incorrectly send someone money on these platforms, it's the same as if you incorrectly send somebody money on the crypto networks. You're more than likely going to lose it unless someone has a change of heart, right? A good person, right? The only platform I think that would reverse a transaction for you if you had a good case, I would say, would be PayPal, because PayPal, if there's any claim whatsoever, they're freezing everything and you're just going to sit and wait, right? So, like I said, I don't necessarily believe that it's a security issue. I think it's something different. I think it's because we've gone 4+ years, probably much more longer than that, with the entire world being anti-crypto, right? Saying, oh, it's drug dealers use that. Drug dealers use cash as well, right? And no one says anything, right? So we'll see how this turns. I would be curious to follow back on this survey and see where we're at 5 years. Are we moving the needle? Because as of 2024, it was less than 6 or 7% of people worldwide in crypto. Is that going to change? Are we going to see that pushed adoption? I would love to gather more information on this. And I think it's cool how it's being divvied up into Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, with the category of people who are responding and what they're, how they're responding. I do believe that there's going to be a ton of momentum, though, as soon as banks, as soon as big institutions continue to embrace and adopt this technology. It's really we're going to see an adoption level, and it's going to be the equivalent to where we were when email kind of phased out, right? Email phased out traditional mail, right? Instead of sending traditional mail and waiting, I'll just send an email instant, right? And then email went to texting, right? And then texting went to FaceTime, right? You see that transition, and nothing really impact the financial system yet, right? The last thing to impact would be Western Union and maybe domestic wires, international domestic wire transfers, maybe. But then you have layers like PayPal making it easier, and now this is the this is almost the second or third step of this transformation. So we're going to see a ton of adoption, and this is really telling to where we're at and how early we actually are. So next up, XRP in the news again. How much could $1,000, $5,000, or $10,000 in XRP turn into in 5 years if XRP hits $100? If you guys know math, you guys know that it's a good bit of money. So $10,000 right now will probably get you $5,000 XRP, I should say. And with that 5,000 XRP, if it goes to $100, you essentially turn that 5,000 into $500,000. So big news, right? And there's speculation right here, right? Can XRP hit $100 this year or by the end of the bull cycle? So in a statement, American wealth advisor Linda Jones suggested that XRP could reach $100 someday in the future. However, she provided no specific timeline. Jones pointed out that about 5 years ago, $100 could buy 400 tokens, but now it buys less than 50 tokens. She suggested that in a few years, $100 would be sufficient to buy one XRP. Another analyst saying here XRP would reach a maximum value of $48 by 2030. They believe $100 XRP could take more than 10 years to happen. Challenging analysts also align with projection proposing 2035 is a likely time frame for XRP to reach $100. So like I was telling you guys the other day, we see these articles, right? We see the claims, and it's not a matter of if XRP is going to hit $100. Now it's just a matter of when, right? So these claims, and like I said, I think we went over a couple analysts, right? We went over a couple analysts, and we saw that these analysts are saying $5 to $7 XRP, and I'm like, what? And I get why they do it. I just don't think it's okay. I don't think it's appropriate for them to undershoot out of the fear of being wrong, right? When you know the value of XRP and Ripple and what they're doing, right? So with that, if they're saying that XRP is going to flip Ethereum, how in the world is XRP not going to eventually hit $100, right? So even with, I love the fact that the whole sentiment, and we've been through this the entire time. Like, you can actually go back in our videos. We've been talking about XRP for years now, even after many people, actually a lot of people, are even on the record saying get rid of XRP, is dead, right? And now the sentiment is it's going to hit $100, just a matter of when. It's not a matter of if, it's when, pretty much, right? So love that we're seeing analysts really speculate and give biased opinion on the price action of XRP. Love what I'm seeing here. Next article here, Ethereum down 57% from its all-time high. Huge opportunity here. But the caveat here is, and we just talked about XRP yesterday, the caveat is Ethereum's down 57% from its all-time high, but it's still worth more than Toyota, still worth more than Disney, highlighting its value despite trading below 57% of its 2021 all-time high. This is big, guys. This is why I keep telling everyone, do not sleep on Ethereum. Like, don't sleep on Ethereum just because of price action. Everything is down. The only thing that's not down for the most part is Bitcoin. Everything else is down. So to say that Ethereum is failing or not doing well, even though we know Ethereum should be doing better, not even just a price point, but just from an overall use case standpoint, I do believe that Ethereum is extremely undervalued because of the sentiment. We just went over what happened with XRP. We just went over, everyone was saying, oh, it's dead. Oh, it's dead. Oh, don't, man, dumping all my, people sold their XRP. People sold their XRP when it didn't explode after getting a victory in the SEC case, right? After they got one win of a portion of the SEC case and people thought this was it, price should explode. It didn't. It stayed under $1. I think it stayed under 50 cents, right? I think it might have been around 20 cents. And then just in November, it exploded. So we see what happens when valuable projects are overlooked. I know there's a story of a guy, and I'll leave this here. There's a story of a guy, and this is a real true story. He dumped his XRP, right? Because the price just wasn't there. He dumped his XRP just right before November. He dumped his XRP, just not moving, kind of fell. This isn't working out. Dumped it. Put all of it into meme coins. And we're talking about a sizable amount of XRP, maybe 50,000 to 100,000 tokens. He just dumped it all, right? Dumped it all into meme coins. The meme coin went to zero. Guys, XRP exploded over $2. That is real. That's a true story. That really happens. So essentially, he took a valuable project and dumped it into, this is right when the meme coins were going crazy a little bit, right? Dumped it into a meme coin, which was higher risk, right? Didn't have a foundation set. This XRP was his foundation, right? Novice investor, XRP was his foundation. Didn't have Bitcoin, Ethereum, didn't have nothing else. XRP was it. He dumped it saying, man, I'm about to make this easy money with a meme coin. Meme coin goes to zero. XRP skyrockets. That has happened to a ton of people, guys. So I would say follow quality projects, right? There's nothing wrong with meme coins. There's nothing wrong with altcoins. Like we talk about and cover them all the time. But your foundation should be set with your ability to invest in meme coins and not wreck your entire portfolio. So when I hear people talk about it, I'll tie this back to Ethereum. You know Ethereum has value. You know Ethereum has value. Okay? There's ETFs on Ethereum. You know the value of Ethereum. Do not be that guy that sells his Ethereum and tries to dump it into an AI project without having your foundation set. Being able to risk 2% of your portfolio, 1%, whatever that may be, to dump into higher cap projects or pre-sales or new meme coins. That's fine, but have your portfolio set up so you can handle the blow if it goes south. That's all I'm saying. You know what the winners are. Like, I don't know how else to put it. You know what the winners are. And for some reason, there needs to be articles out like this that are pretty much telling you that, hey, Ethereum's still down, but it's still worth more than global giants like Toyota, Disney. And even further down this article, it says, hey, it's still worth more than like IBM. Total value locked is 124 billion. Right? Like, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. That's all I have to say about this, guys. So this is what I was looking for. Found it. Other notable companies currently worth less than Ethereum include IBM, McDonald's, General Electric, Shell, and Disney, guys. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm going to go on right into some TA. Taking a look here at Ethereum, at Bitcoin's price action. And sorry, I went off a tangent. I just don't get it. It's just one of the things I don't get, right? I don't understand it. I don't get it. And I talk to friends. I'm like, they ask me, what are you doing? Look, I'm buying Ethereum. What? Why are you buying Ethereum? Why not? Why not? I buy Bitcoin every day. I buy Ethereum probably every week. And there's a couple altcoin bags we're going to be sharing with you guys that we got that are extremely discounted that we thought. But other than that, you guys know our plays. Like, I don't mind. You guys know from meme coin perspective, Floki and Pepe, like, those are our plays. Like, we love what they're doing. We love the potential there. But let me dive into Bitcoin. We'll talk about this on another altcoin video. Bitcoin clearing that level almost perfectly, guys. If you go to the 4-hour time frame, you look at this level, it respects that level that we put there perfectly. Came back, retested it, and making a new high, hopefully to break this 92 level. Okay, so we'll definitely be there, and we'll definitely continue to monitor this and just look at the price action, see if these levels break. That's really what we're waiting for. We go to the weekly time frame. It's almost identical to what we experienced. Like, we see a pullback. We saw a pullback back here in March of 24. A pullback breaks up. Now we see here a pullback. Same thing. Want to see a break. Okay. So that's what we're waiting for. I definitely think it's probable, especially with all the anticipation, April being a strong month. And if April's a strong month, expect altcoins to follow, preferably altcoin season. That's what we're hoping for. But just think there's a ton of opportunity, guys. This entire, I would say the past 2 months. So from February 21st to now has been nothing but a bloodbath. And that should have been the time to accumulate, guys. Think differently, like we talk about all the time. So love what I'm saying with Bitcoin. Love what the future of crypto holds. This is an exciting time. Like, we've never been in an environment where it's been so pro crypto. So the last 2 bull runs I've been through, I think the bull run in 2017, and then there was another bull run and then this is the third bull run that we're going through. And this has been the most pro crypto environment I've ever seen. Never seen anything different. This environment right here has been exciting. So I think all the numbers outside of that XRP $100, that's pretty rich, but all the projections I think are extremely undervalued and undershot, because we've never been in this environment before where the entire industry is being welcomed with embrace globally. So we went through a bull run where everyone was calling crypto a scam, right? We went through a bull run where banks were not banking with you anymore if you had a Coinbase transaction or a withdrawal coming to that banking institution. So to have that adoption and have that culture where they're embracing it to the point where states and countries and territories are building and creating strategic reserves, this is going to be something that we've never seen before, guys. So definitely wanted to highlight this, give you guys a market update. Hope you guys got some value out of this video. Keep moving forward in everything that you do. See you soon.